I mean, why wouldn't you like to see Ghana flourishing?
He tasked government to use funds from the Eurobond market for capital-intensive projects that can be self-financing.
Well, the Finance Ministry has given assurance of releasing funds to the Controller and Accountant General's Department for disbursement into the District Assembly Common Fund. The Deputy Finance Minister, Abna Osei Asare, said the funds will be transferred within 24 hours.
The Administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund, Irina Toshi-Ado, and Deputy Finance Minister Abna Osei Asare appeared before Parliament in the Committee of the Whole to answer questions relating to the disbursement of the District Assembly's Common Fund. The minority in Parliament threatened to block the approval of government's 2020 budget over delayed disbursement of the funds. Deputy Finance Minister Abna Osei Asare, after the meeting with Parliament, explained the ministry has made the necessary arrangements for the funds to be released.
Government has settled close to 50% of the amount, and by close of day today, all will be settled. We have assured them, so we believe that everything is fine, and the districts will be given the necessary allocations that they need from the District Assembly Common Fund.
MP for Ningo Pram Sam George said the minority is hopeful government will honor its promise.
It's obvious and clear to us as members of Parliament that the problem doesn't come from the administrator. The problem is coming from the Finance Ministry. The District Assembly's Common Fund is bleeding because they have not received releases from the Finance Ministry. The Finance Minister was also summoned. He didn't show up, but his deputy showed up, and she's giving us assurances that they are taking steps to remedy it. We hope that they will keep to their words.
Meanwhile, MPs sharing the expectations ahead of the 2020 budget presentation on Wednesday expressed concern of the issue of budget overruns in election years. They are worried about whether the country would avoid the excessive 4-year cycle overrun this time around.
We have passed the Fiscal Discipline Act, and we expect that the government will self-discipline and will not spend because an election has spent over the budget.
And we are hoping that the minister will come tomorrow and inject some sort of hope into Ghanaians, especially going into the 2020 general election.
I expect to see government go into some extremely provocative, for want of a better word, spending to meet election demands.
Deputy Finance Minister Abna Osei Asare has, however, given assurance the current administration will manage expenditure appropriately.
We're going to make sure we stick within the rules that we have set for ourselves, and especially the Fiscal Responsibility Act, where we can't do more than 5% deficit, and then we also cannot do a negative primary balance. So government is committed to sticking to these rules, or the rules that we have made for ourselves, to want to prevent irreversibility and not to go back to the IMF as previous governments took us to.
If that could be appropriately correct.